This video response is going to go out to Sallymander9, and that is because you uploaded a video entitled College Note-Taking Tips and Backpack Essentials. I watched most of the video, and as I was watching the video, I thought up some questions to ask you. I was kind of surprised that nobody else decided to ask you these questions, so I decided to ask them myself. Okay, so here goes. First of all, what are you majoring in? And how far do you have to travel every day to attend your college classes? Okay. Do you like or dislike your professors? Which professors do you like and which professors do you not? Okay. Now the next thing is that I know there are a lot of students out there, whether they be college-aged, high schoolers, junior high, even some grade schoolers, and they practically live their entire lives off their smartphone. I kid you not, they can't wake up without their smartphone. They spend more time with their smartphones than with their parents, their teachers, their friends, and if they're older, their significant others. I'm not kidding you on this. And I think that's kind of a bad thing. And the reason I say that is that these smartphones, not only do they give out magnetic waves that everybody's concerned about, but on top of that, they do have batteries, rechargeable batteries, that tend to go dead at just the wrong moment. And if you don't have that thing on a charger all the time, there you go. And so having a day planner on a cell phone, well, a smartphone that is, I don't think is a good idea. If you're going to have an electronic day planner, the best I would recommend is a personal desktop assistant. That way, it's not something you use all the time, and it doesn't drain the battery as quick. Okay? Personally, when it comes to waking up with an alarm clock, I would much rather have this than a smartphone. Why? This doesn't take up near as much power. It has a single function, and it's more likely to get you up in the morning than a smartphone. It really is. I do think it's a very smart idea to have a physical day planner like you showed. I think it's a brilliant thing to have, especially if you're attending college or getting into a career. Many occupations require you to have a physical day planner because if you don't, you're not going to do too well in the business world. I can tell you that personally. Okay? Now, why do physical day planners like the one you showed include telephone numbers and websites for various travel agencies and hotels and so on and so forth? The reason for this is that business people do a lot of traveling. You know, this is business traveling, we got to do a business trip, so on and so forth. Okay? And those telephone numbers and those websites become very much handy for those people who do a lot of business trips. So there you go. That's why they do that. Now, in the video, you were showing us a specific clip, and you said you did not know what it was called. It's called a binder clip. Okay. Flash drives, keeping a flash drive on you is a very good idea, but there are three things you have to remember. Number one, do not take your flash drive swimming with you. And for heaven's sakes, don't put them in a washing machine. That's the worst thing you could do for the thing. Don't drop them in the sink trying to do dishes. Certainly don't put them in the laundry, and don't take them swimming. Bad idea. Number two, do not let them bake in the hot sun because they will melt and then they won't be usable anymore. Two, keep them away from high magnetic fields because if you don't, they get demagnetized and then they're useless. Okay. The next thing you were talking about was your mini stapler, which I think is a good idea. However, you really do need to know the size of the staples that are going to be used in that mini stapler. Why? Because if you ever have to refill that stapler, you need to contact an office supply store, and it would be a lot easier for those clerks at the office supply store to know what kind of staples you're looking for. If you say small staples, that doesn't mean very much to these people. But if you quote them a specific size, they can find it a lot easier. Just saying. Okay. Now, there is another website you did not mention, and it is also good for textbooks. It is called Alibris, www.alibris.com. and it's a place where you can actually pick up textbooks just like all the other ones you were talking about. So definitely something to take a look at. And I had never heard of a code card before. I would love for you to elaborate on what a code card is and what it's used for. Because when I went to community college years ago, we didn't have code cards. Some of our textbooks had floppy disks inside of them that we have to use in our personal computers, but we didn't have code cards. So that's a new one on me. And then you mentioned a learning style inventory. This is something that we didn't have when I was going to college, and I did go to community college several years ago, and I had never heard of a learning style inventory. If you don't do a particular video about the learning style inventory, I certainly will. So anyway, it is something interesting. I'm glad you brought it up, and I will take a look into it and see what goes on there. As for the Cornell University way of learning things, I am a speed reader and a memory expert, and if you want to check out how I pulled all that off, you are more than welcome to watch all my videos. I would recommend going through the playlists. That'd be the first thing. And watching the main channel video I have. If you go to my main channel page, you see the feature video, go ahead and watch it, and then you can kind of see where I've come from. And if you have any further questions, you are more than welcome to ask me, and I will do my best to answer you in a timely manner. Anyway, I would love to see your response to this. I will tell you more in a future video, so stay tuned.